And we're in. And it's good to be back in Terraria. But then again, it always feels good to be back in Terraria. So, what do we have planned for today? Well, as I started hinting at last episode, or should have said, I honestly don't remember at this point. Create that memory of mine. We are going to do a little bit of building. Take a little break from all the fighting we've been doing and do some building. More to the point, we are going to be finishing our boat in our test world. Then I'll build it over here in this world, but today we're going to spend the episode finishing up our boat, making it look nice, trying out some painting, all that good stuff. But that's going to happen then. For now, I know there's one item I need to get before we start building, so let's head over to the pirate. In addition to building in today's episode, there you are, pirate, we are also going to be doing, sail. I need 400 sails. Because again, this is for build. Dang it, that's too much. 1 second, please, and close, but not there. I wish there was a way to just, click on and say, I want 400. Instead of this. Whatever. We'll sell it back. Okay, we have our sails. We are going to research them, because again, when it comes to building, I like to use journey mode. But we're all good, so back home. And I think that's everything. Let me check my paint. Paint. See, all the different paints, white, black, shadow. Yeah, I think we have everything. So, I'm going to now head over to the build world, dump my inventory because we're building, we're not doing anything else. And we'll get to building while also explaining the future of Terraria on my channel. So, be right back. As I sit here, I wonder, now that I stopped raining, how am I going to get all this water out of my house? And here we are in our build world. It always feels good to be back here. Well, technically it's build world, technically it's the void. It's whatever we need it to be. And today, we need it to be a boat world. In case you remember, this is where we last left off with our boat. It wasn't looking too bad. I think I need to extend this a little bit. Just because, I'll know once I get to it. But today, we're going to be finishing off our boat while explaining the future of Terraria on the channel. So what do I mean by that? Well, simply put, I'm going to keep this going forever, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I also know that, well, you can only watch me fight a boss so many times before that gets boring. You can only watch me do blah 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 so many times. I'm mature enough to realize that and say that. So what I'm going to do is finish up, obviously, 1 second. I forgot what these are called now. Slab? No, they're not slabs. These platforms. Sorry about that. Had a little malfunction there. Platforms, that's what we're looking for. Platforms. No, not mahogany. This may be a pirate ship, but it doesn't mean it has to be a rich one. There we go. Alright, so as I was saying, I know that this cannot go on forever. As much as I would like it to, it just cannot. Alright, some stairs going in, and need to mind this. So, that's okay. Terraria is going to stay on my channel, so why can't it take a little bit of a break? That's at least what I thought, and so I'm going to do just that. We're going to take a break from our collector's run, but we're not going to take a break from, well, Terraria. Alright, a little bit more is needed. There we go. And we really have to go a little bit farther. I think we should go one more block. Or 2 more, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, wait. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, 2 more. I forgot, when we're building this ship, we're doing it by the rule of 2. Why? Because it makes it look thicker without, being a problem. Alright, so if we go, dang it. Did not mean to do that. Alright, we need 1 more. So, sorry, I'm going to get sidetracked while doing this. So basically, what I mean, well, after we beat Moonlord, let me explain this. We have a few more bosses we need to beat. Rather, 2, technically 3, however you want to slice it. We have the Empress of Light, obviously. We've beaten every other boss except for Betsy, but, well, let's be honest. I have no real interest in the Old One's army. We did fight it just recently to, test it out, see how it worked, and Honestly, what I expected. Alright, well, sorry, I got lost in thought. So, what bosses we have then? Well, we have beaten Duke. We've beaten, I think, every boss except for the Frost Moon, which we're going to for an item. We also have, what is it now? Empress of Light. You know, the notoriously hard bullet hell boss. Yeah, we're going to be fighting her as well. And then, of course, we have to take on the Cultist, the Martian invasion, the Moon invasion, the whatever you want to call it. And then, of course, Moon Lord. Now, I can get plenty of episodes out of that, and I'm going to try to. But after that, well, what do? Sorry, I'm just thinking to myself. We could, wait, 1, 2, 1, wait, is that right? Wow, how do I keep getting lucky with that placement? I don't know, but it works for me. So, what do I mean? Well, after we beat all of them, what are you going to watch me do? Fight Moonlord 50 times and fight Empress of Light 50 times and, you know, nobody wants to watch that. Nobody wants to see that. Let's be real. So, what am I going to do? Well, we're going to start a new playthrough. I was going to say a new channel. That'd be a little drastic. No, we're going to do a new playthrough. Now, this isn't goodbye forever to the Terraria Collector's Run. In fact, what we're going to do is every now and then we'll come back to the Collector's Run, where we, well, collect. Sorry, I forgot I did want this open. So we'll either collect videos. No, we'll collect bosses and enemies, or banners, or maybe do a little bit of building, but essentially what's going to happen, we do this kind of like a ladder. That looks like a ladder, right? No, but good enough for now. Alright, we'll fill this back in. There we go. It's starting to come together a little bit for my idea. So, what do I mean? Well, we're going to do another playthrough, and that one's going to be a challenge run. That being the Blue Mage playthrough. If you don't know what that means, don't worry. I will be putting out a video explaining what the Blue Mage playthrough is. So, have no fear. I will explain. But basically, I decided, like, you know what? As much as I love this, I'm going to just sprinkle it in. Every now and then we'll come back to build. Every now and then we'll come back to fight and collect. Because, let's face it, Terraria ain't going anywhere. They keep saying it's the final update, and then we get the next one. Then the next one. Then the next one. And you see where I'm going with this. Nothing wrong with that. I'm glad the game stuck around and it's still been all this fun. But at the same time, at some point you have to say, okay, time to start over. I mean, that's half the fun of Terraria, right? All the building you get to do. Let me see. Doors, please. All the building. All the playing. You know, starting from the beginning, working your way back. Starting from the beginning, working your way... Dang it. My bad. And so, that's kind of the spirit of Terraria. So I figure, why not keep it alive by... well, doing a new series while every now and then coming back to the Collector's Run. So, for instance, after Blue Mage, we will do a Whips-only playthrough. And then, as we play that, we'll play, you know, we'll still come back to maybe every 5 or 6 episodes. Hey, we're back here on the Collectors, and today we're trying to, once again, collect the Eye of Cthulhu or something. That way, this playthrough stays alive on the channel for a while to come. But it's, you know, it's kind of done its job. It's introduced people to me through Terraria, and for that, I will be eternally thankful. Alright, I think the ship's starting to come together. It'll look better once I have, you know, walls in place and all that good stuff, but for now, it's doing its job. You get boat from it, right? Right? I'm not insane? This looks like a boat? I think it looks like a boat. Alright, so what comes next? Well, first, I'm going to be explaining what we have. Right here, we have the captain's quarters. You know, where the pirate captain, ex-pirate captain, will live. Down here, we have the cargo hold, kind of the whole of the ship, where you get everywhere else. Then down here, we have the cargo hold. I don't know if that's how it actually works on ships. It's just how it's going to work on this ship, okay? Over here, we have where the angler will sleep. And down here, we'll have, well, let's just say, the pirate lord, ex-pirate captain, whatever you want to call him, has a little bit of a safety stash on hand in case anything happens. So all we need now is the mast and building a sail and filling in all the details. So for the mast, I'm thinking we just use walls, so it's past, we need platforms for what I have in mind. So give me back those platforms. Thank you. We need walls. That's just wall. This is just going to be a placeholder. All the walls. Where's the wood? Okay, how about we just take regular wood and turn them into walls instead? Or it's right there. So let's see, platforms, wood walls, just a temporary placeholder, we'll experiment with different materials to see what looks like a mast. And of course, our newly acquired sails. Alright, now first we gotta place this down. Again, I know this is not how it actually works. This is just a placeholder. You gotta put something down before you can really start to experiment. And of course we have to walk past it, so technically 2D, 3D, kind of difficult to do, but we're gonna make it work somehow. So yeah, I hope you have been enjoying the Terraria Collector's Run. I've been having fun, mainly because I've been switching up the classes a lot. And speaking of, this needs to be a little bit higher. We are going to, I know we just spent all this time making the summoner, but we are already going to be switching up class. Why? Well, if I'm finishing the game, I gotta finish how I started, with guns. That's not looking right. Wait, don't I have? Yes, I do have a flying mount. I'm a fool. Alright, so if we have that, we'll say this is the top. And then maybe like down here is like this. We'll see why we're actually going to make, actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll do this. That's pretty tall now that I look at it. Nope. Gotta get rid of this. Building with TheMechanist. It's annoying, I know, but it has to be done. I said I was going to build something, dang it, I will. Alright, so if we say the flag is this long, that looks good to me. And then come over here and do it on this side. Now we just fill this in with sails. That looks kind of like it's hanging up right. Maybe a little bit off. A little overhang. That looks good. I could probably add a little bit to the sides to make it look like it's flowing in the wind. But for now, we're just getting a general idea of this. Like I said, I'll fix this up and make it look real nice later. For now, we just want the general idea of what we're going for. Gotta make sure proof of concept, right? It's starting to look like a pirate ship, right? Or a ship. We're eventually gonna make it look like a pirate ship. I do love Terraria, and although I don't spend any time building, because, well, building's a bonus, not a necessity. That's the way I've always viewed building. It is fun to sit down and challenge yourself to do some building. I've tried doing this in Minecraft. It doesn't work for me. I don't get building in Minecraft. I don't know what it is, but I don't. Maybe it's the third dimension? I don't know. Some people have it, some don't. And I'm a machine and I don't have it. But 2D, I can make this work to a degree. And there we go, we have what looks like a sail. Alright, let me keep going up from here. There we go. Let's say this is like a little, it's the, what you call it, the crow's nest, right? That's what they call it, the lookout point. And we'll say like that. Go up one. Hammer this out, and that will be the basic crow's nest. Let's see, make you slanted so it looks better. Up, up, and now that doesn't look good, but I'll tweak it later. Now that we have that, again, I know it's not really to size. I should probably make it a little bit bigger, maybe move it a little bit to the left. It's just a template. But now that we have that, one last thing I want to do before we get ready to move it over and do some finishing touches off camera. And what might that be? Well, I've already said, it's paint. After all, it's not a pirate ship without a Jolly Roger. So we need black, white, and then a paint roller and a paint scraper. There we go. So first we start with black, because it's easier to do black and then the skull than the other way around. Turn off smart painting because I said turn off. Thank you. Now they say turn that off so we don't paint everything. Might have to do something about that. The platform's poking through, that is. Don't know. We'll see when the time comes. But for now, we're going to paint it a nice black, put a skull on it, and then comes the fun part. That's right. If you remember correctly, I said I was going to, or at least I believe I mentioned this, I'm going to turn this into a converted pirate ship. Make it look like it's going through the process of becoming a regular fishing vessel rather than the pirate ship of old. So before we do that, we have to paint it into a Jolly Roger. I know the Jolly Roger would be the small little flag up here, but hey, it's fun. I want to do this. It sticks out the most. Plus, I'm not going to try to make like a 5x5, skull and then turn that into a half skull. It'd be way too much. This gets the point across, and it's what I want to do. I think it'd look good. Alright. So, I forgot I was mentioning, we're going to be switching back to the gun class, which means I gotta go look at all the guns again. I know I'm most likely going to get the Santa chain gun from the Frost Moon event. Couldn't think there for a second. Okay, 1, 2, what if we do that? Do a basic skull. We need to come down 3, and then we can come down here. And then that doesn't really look like a skull, does it? Maybe if it was wider, but I'm going with a 2x2 symmetry. So what if we just add 1 to each side? Go 1 down here, 1 down here. This is why we experiment. And then if we do this and this, we need some more white paint. Let's see, if we do like that, that doesn't help. If we do that, then we could do like 1, 2. That doesn't look right. I might have to do a lot of time experimenting with this. Now if we did that, and then maybe 2 in the middle. It kind of looks like it. Now for the fun part. Now that we have the skull painted, we need, let's see, what paint? I'm thinking just a basic blue and white. Now you might be asking, why that? Well, I'm going to try to make it look like the pirates begun painting over the Jolly Roger. This is a Jolly Roger, yes. And it's turned it into like a fish. Because he's now a fisherman, so why wouldn't it be a fish? So I think we'll go like that far. Try to leave some of the skull intact. Paint this white. I know most flags I think were blue or white that were fishing vessels, so I'm just going to go with white because it'll stand out more in contrast to black. And then we're going to try to paint what looks like a pixelated fish, or at least part of one. Again, mid-process, and maybe a few little thingamajiggers, just to make it look better. Okay, now then, if we add... how do fishies look? I could just try to... Actually, no, I don't want this blue. I want a lighter blue. Blue. I need a lighter blue. I mean paint. Not bad. Let's see, what do we have? We'll go sky blue. That should look nice. Okay, so if we do like... keep forgetting you don't do... Let's see, we do something like... That's a little too light. Way too light. So I need something darker than sky blue, lighter than regular blue. Let's see what we have in the old inventory. Deep blue, that is not deep cyan. Maybe cyan. You know what? I'll take it. Alright, we do a little bit of something like this. I'm just doing random shapes right now. See what works. Okay, if we do something like that, and then now we bring out the blue, yeah. Now we get the blue. Nope, paint. Paint, paint, paint. Sorry, I'm losing track of myself. Blue, there's blue. So now if we bring out the blue and we do like a, how do you make a fit? Let's just say it's something like this. I wish there was an easier way to switch paints around. So if we do something like that, now we add it going back a little bit. This is really difficult. Kind of like we're going to make a long fish and then we carry the fish part over into the Jolly Roger, show that's being converted. Like that, but we're not there yet, and then we fill it in a little bit, make it look like it's in process, and then we just, let's see, come up here and give it like a little fin, because why not? Try to give it a little bit of character. Yeah, and then let's bring out the black, and see how it looks. Paint. Keep forgetting the paint part. And we put an eye right there. Alright, now we take the white paint and put it like splotches here, you know, a little bit there. Show like it's in the middle of being painted, and that's what I didn't want, so we have the scraper. There we go. Actually, you know what? We'll put a little bit of blue here too. Make it look like starting to work on the fin, but not quite there yet. There we go. That looks kind of like it's being converted, right? I think we have the basic outline done, which means off camera I'll work with the inside, the outside. But yeah, I think it's coming along great. I can't wait to see the finished product, and I bet you can't either. So yeah, next time we will be moving this boat over and moving on to the next build, because we're going to finish up the beach next time. Luckily though, that's just building a dock and a seaside shop shack. Yeah, say that 5 times fast. Well, that was a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed playing. And if you did, please consider hitting the like button and impacting the subscribe button. It'll help out in the long run. With all that being said, this has been The Mechanist, logging off. Until next time.